Okay, well, there's nowhere to go but up after Sunday. Uh, Vikings and the Patriots Thanksgiving night. Um, and, everyone's on the ledge, or they've jumped off the ledge, or they're giving up on the whole season after the other night, or after the other day. Um, boy, it never ceases to amaze me how fast like a fan base can just give up and turn on the team. It's really kind of disgusting. Um, and that's not everyone. That's most people are still most people are able to be a little bit rational and understand that it was one game, bad as it was, and it was one of the worst games in the history of the franchise. Um, it was the second worst home loss ever, worst since 1963. And it was like top 10 at least for worst losses overall. But like no team is 40-3 better than anybody, and no team is 40-3 worse than anybody. It was just everything came together and just led to one of the worst games that any of us have ever seen. But the good thing is we get to flush it and go right into the next game. And this is not going to be an easy game. Even if we had beaten Dallas and we were riding an 8-game win streak, I would still say this is not going to be an easy game. It's Bill Belichick on a short week. That's all you need to say. Um, you know, New England's kind of a middling team, but they still you know their defense is really good. They have a really good pass rush. And what did we just see in the Dallas game? But people talk about that, but they kind of ignore the fact that we faced some pretty good defenses the previous couple weeks in Buffalo and Washington on the road, and we did okay. Now we don't have Darisaw. I mean, they didn't even bother to wait for like injury reports or anything this week. They ruled Darisaw out in the post game press conference on Sunday. So Darisaw's out. It'll be Blake Brandel. I certainly hope KOC's got some better preparation for dealing with a pass rush, because you know New England's not going to be like, oh, we're not going to try to rush Kirk at all. We're just gonna play back. No, they're gonna try to come after him, and they're gonna try to one of the problems against Dallas is they only were rushing four a lot of the times, and they were still destroying us. I mean, Bill Belichick is going to do that. He's going to do that. He's going to try to do what Dallas did on both sides of the ball. They're going to try to run down our throats, and we might get Tom. Looks like there's a chance we might have Dalvin Tomlinson this week. Been able to participate in practices. Looks like we're going to be really thin in corner. Even Booth now is hurt. Evans might be able to go, and Dantzler is not eligible to come back, I think, until maybe the Detroit game. So we're going to be pretty thin there. So we're going to need to be able to pressure New England's quarterback. Now, Mac Jones is not that good, but we have struggled on defense against some not so good quarterbacks at times this year. So yeah, obviously we can't have a repeat of Sunday in any shape, way, or form, and I don't think we will. I think I don't subscribe to the belief of, oh, it was good that we got beat up and it kind of refocuses us. Like, I don't think that was an issue of focus. I just think it's maybe if there was some Buffalo hangover, I don't dispute that. And a tough matchup in Dallas, and Dallas came in pissed off about blowing the game the week before, and you're not going to win every game. I mean, it's people don't want to accept the reality that this was not going to be a 16-1 team. Like, they were not going to finish with a better record than the 1998 team. They're still probably going to lose a couple more games, and maybe this week. And the problem is, if you lose this week, then that's two in a row, and you got to sit with it for 10 days before we play the Jets. And everyone's going to be just completely sour and miserable and mad, and they're going to insist that the Vikings are never going to win another game, and they're going to fall out of the playoffs. If I have to hear the term point differential again this week, I'm going to scream. It's like, we're 8-2. I don't care how many points we've scored versus how many we've given up. That gets completely distorted by a 40-3. We're not 40-3. We're not. Like, it sucked. We got our asses handed to us. But that game is not more representative of this team than the previous 7. Um, and we've beaten teams better than New England. And we're at home. And I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh, it's prime time, so we're gonna lose because Kirk's bad printed." Like, whatever the result of this game is on Thursday, it would be the same if we were the noon game. It's such stupid narratives. And it's gonna be a tough game because they're, like I said, they're gonna be able to get some pressure on us, and hopefully not 7 sacks worth. I mean, what was the stat that I saw that Kirk was pressured on like 63% of pass plays? I mean, that's nuts. They compared it to the Super Bowl when Mahomes got destroyed by Tampa Bay, and it was like not even 40%. Like, no quarterback can succeed with what we saw last Sunday. So I'm hoping KOC's got some extra, put in an extra tight end. Make sure CJ Ham's out there for fullback. Yeah, any little help to block will be badly needed. And hopefully, if we can run it, maybe we won't go away from the run. But it's going to be a tough game, and I think this is going to, I think this game will say a lot about this team and this coach and how they can bounce back, because they bounced back. They had a blowout loss to the Eagles. Wasn't nearly as bad as the Dallas game, but they had a blowout loss and they responded by winning 7 in a row. Now, I don't think we're going to win 7 in a row again, but I think we will bounce back pretty good. And I think it'll be close, because we win, we're not going to blow them out, I don't think. I hope we come out pissed off. I hope we come out pissed off like Dallas came out pissed off last week. And this is a tough one. I came into November saying if we went 2-2 in November, I'd be good with that. Well, we're at worst going to be 2-2, but the way it would come down if we were to lose this and go 2-2, it would obviously be kind of the worst version of it. But I think we are going to eke out a win. It's going to be a close one, I think, and I think it's going to be pretty low scoring too. I don't think this is going to be like 34-31 type stuff. This isn't going to be the Buffalo game. I think it's going to be more like the Washington game. So something like 20-17. Greg Joseph, please make your kicks when called upon, because we're going to need every little point, every little thing that we can get, because we are facing Bill Belichick, and I fucking hate the guy, but he's almost the winningest coach in the history of the NFL. I think he'll be getting there pretty soon. And on a short week, like, all hands on deck here. We really got to win this one. This isn't like win or the season's over. I mean, worst case scenario, because for one thing, Detroit's in second place. They're playing Buffalo on Thanksgiving. Buffalo's gonna win that game, and then Green Bay's playing at Philly, and Green Bay's gonna lose that game. So we're not gonna lose any ground, in the division race. But again, if we win, then we're right back in easy street. We're pretty much in easy street for the division. But I mean, obviously, we don't want to sit with 2 losses at home for a stretch like this. But I think we are going to eke this one out. Tough one. We're going to show some grit. We're certainly going to improve over last week. And the opponent isn't as formidable, even though their defense is very good. They're not going to be able to put up 40. If New England Patriots score 40 points on us, I might give up on the season. But I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, I'll say 20-17 Vikings, and hopefully they don't ruin all our Thanksgivings.